Hit the breeze with
Bright House Networks presents the Bright House Networks High School Football Game of the Week. Sponsored by Premier Equipment Rentals and Audio Visual Plus.
Well, a very, very good evening, everybody. We are absolutely thrilled to be back with you tonight. High school football game of the week, week 2 officially, Friday night, September 17th. Is it the 17th? I believe it is, 2010. I'm Vance Palm, joined sideline right here by Brian Adams on the grass and my partner Matt Alvarez here in the Premier Equipment Rental Lift. We're at Ridgeview High School, where the Foothill Trojans are visiting the Wolfpack of Ridgeview. Brian, we haven't been here in a long, long time, my man, but every time we come here, the band's playing, the football team looks good. Here we are at Ridgeview.
Well, Vance, you're exactly right. Last time we were here at Ridgeview, we saw those Wolfpack dogs running out here.
Hodges.
Coach Cruz, but we are back here, and one thing about the fans outside, they got a good student section here at Ridgeview. The kids really love their classmates, and they really support them very well.
That's Brian Adams, 13 years now here on Bright House Network's High School Football Game of the Week. Our captain, our veteran, the BHS driller, and UCLA Bruin. Now we have with us our new guy, our rookie, but he did go to Foothill High School, so he's got his alumnus tonight that he'll be speaking of. Matt Alvarez joining us. Matt, give us your thoughts on tonight's Foothill Trojans.
Well, they're led by Ryan Rangel, their quarterback, a junior. He's 3 for 6, 41 yards for a TD and a rushing TD last week against Arvin, a 27-7 win. Foothill forced 5 turnovers last weekend, Vance, so let's see if they can keep the turnover bug in their favor.
Thank you, Matt. They'll be kicking off, and here we go. We're underway. Week 2 of the 2010 High School Football Game of the Week schedule on Bright House Network. It's a short kick, and it's taken by the speedy and dangerous Brandon Tripp. Tripp looking for yardage and gets up to midfield, so that short kick almost came back to bite the Trojans, so it'll be 1st and 10 Ridgeview. Very good field position. Again, welcome to the Week 2 football game for Bright House Network's High School Football Game of the Week. I'm Vance Palm, joined by Matt Alvarez, and we have Brian Adams down on the grass. Well, Matt, Week 2 is one of those weeks where you look for so much improvement from your Week 1 game to the Week 2 game, that week of practice. So many coaches looking for very visible improvement. We'll see if we see it tonight. And the quarterback for the Ridgeview Wolfpack is Joe Seha. Seha hands the ball at the middle. Oh, and a big hit behind the line of scrimmage. So big with so many bodies, I didn't even get to see who it was. But now I see when he hops up. Are you kidding me? A massive hit out there by number 61. And wouldn't you know it, we don't have 61 on our deals here.
Well, the runner was Dante Malloy, and Malloy looking for some space up the middle the first play of the game, and that Foothill defense just swarmed the line of scrimmage, not allowing Malloy to get anywhere. It might have been a loss of yards on the play.
Well, they keep it 2nd and 10. And we are underway. First quarter action, second play from the line of scrimmage. Seha's the quarterback for the Wolfpack. Everybody out to the right side. Those across the middle, Hammerman wide open, but it went right through the fingertips of Brock Martin. Should have been caught, but that'll bring up 3rd and 10. That should have been a first down.
Well, Martin was their leading receiver last week against Independence, Vance. He had 3 receptions for 90 yards, as you see on our AV Plus instant replay. Seha just looking over the middle, and that right through the hands of Brock Martin, the junior, almost intercepted there by Foothill.
Thank you to Audio Visual Plus for our replay sponsorship. 2nd year in a row. Want to make sure we always put that plus in there because they are everything plus. Audio Visual Plus, including the microphone stand. 3rd down and 10. Challenge right now for both sides of the football. Linebackers for Foothill line it up. They look for a short pass, but it's going to be a long one. It's floated out there, and oh, wow. A lot of time for Jacob Spears to catch that football, and that thing hung up there a long time. Really, no pressure, Brian, by the defensive back. There was no pressure by the DB. He had all the time in the world to catch that football.
jump ball right there, Vance, and the receiver went up and snatched the ball from the defensive back. But they both have to be aggressive on that. If you're Foothill, you want to get that knockdown, force a punt.
Yeah, that's a big third down conversion for Ridgeview. And you look at Jacob Spears, the senior, went for 405 yards last year of receiving, so he's definitely a deep threat for the Wolfpack.
Matt and I are on top of the Premier Equipment Rental. We're getting quite the ride right now. We're trying to get in position to get this baby up in the air. Seha on an option. Play action, keeps it, goes up the middle. Seha, almost had daylight for 6, but he picks up a big first down. The presence of Seha on the play action, looked at the option, completely got rid of that quickly, and looked upfield for a 12-yard gain, first down, Foothill Trojans.
Well, a great move by Seha. As you see, he gets around Manuel Murillo, number 50, the Foothill Trojan, and a great tackle out there by Brian Velasquez. Saved the touchdown as you look at that on our Audio Visual Plus instant replay. And it's Ridgeview on the move.
First and 10. 10 minutes left to go in the first period. We are moving along here. Seha on the option. This time he does pitch it out. And he's got some blocking upfield. A big hit fumble! Oh, my goodness. Jacob Spears gets hammered by Cameron Allen. And Cameron Allen picks up the fumble. Wow, what a hit. What a fumble recovery, Captain.
Man, it was the perfect hit, Vance. You get right on the ball, helmet hits that forearm, ball pops loose. And they're lucky, Vance, that he didn't get it on his feet. If he'd have picked the ball up, he might have had a chance to score. But Foothill did a great job recovering. Got a turnover. Let's see what their offense can do.
Well, that is a highlight of all highlights right there for Cameron Allen on our Audiovisual Plus replay. Pops the ball out, falls on the football. That's some stickers on the helmet possibly. First and 10 Trojans. And just like that, as Ryan Rangel hands off to Jonas Cobb. Cobb thrown for a 5-yard loss right out of the chute. Pow!
Well, I was talking with Coach Mike Gregg before the game, Vance, and he said they weren't going to be able to run to the outside on this very fast Ridgeview defense, but that play looked like it was going to go to the outside, maybe a sweep possibly, but like Coach Gregg said, that Ridgeview defense just penetrated, and boy, they got in a big lick there.
9.5 left in this first quarter. Nobody scored yet. Only the first possession for the Trojans as they send Leos in motion. The handoff up the middle. That's a big gain right there. That's about a 13, 14-yard gain. Brings up a 3rd and 2. A nice run out there by Fernando Leos.
Well, that's the senior. You hand it to your senior Leos, and he picks up a good grip of that yardage back, and now it brings up a easier third down possibility here for Foothill. And now you've got a lot of options here for your Foothill. You've got Ryan Rangel. You've got the running back Billy Villegas, the junior, who ran for 70 yards and a touchdown. He was Foothill's leading rusher last year as you go here on third down. And the penetration up the middle, and Rangel has no time, 0 time, and the Foothill offensive line looks to the sidelines questioning, what are we doing here? Well, it's going to be a 4th down for Foothill, 8.5 left to go in the first quarter, and a punting situation for the Trojans. Well,
Trojans will punt. A nice hold by the Wolfpack. This turned out to be a pretty exciting first 4 minutes. Some big hits, turnovers, big defensive holds. And it's a short snap and a quick punt. Takes a nice Foothill bounce, and it'll be first and 10 Ridgeview. We are underway. Week 2 of the high school football game of the week. I'm Vance Palm, joined by Matt Alvarez and Brian Adams. We are at Ridgeview High School for another perfect Friday night of great weather. And just a pleasure to be out here on Friday nights. Ridgeview starts at the Foothill 40-yard line. So here come the Wolfpack with perfect field position.
Well, it's unfortunate for Foothill that they weren't able to capitalize on that costly turnover there for Ridgeview, but like you said, Vance, Ridgeview has the ball in Foothill territory, and they were able to drive it down the field relatively easy on the Foothill defense last time around. That's a different quarterback in for Ridgeview. That's
Tyler Ferguson.
Ferguson.
That's a Tyler Ferguson, well-known name in that Frostshop team, freshman year, and now here he is as a junior, and he'll get some minutes. Tall, talented quarterback, 6'4", almost 200 pounds.
Well, it's a double threat here for Ridgeview. They have Tyler Ferguson and Joe Seha Ferguson went 5 for 16 with 97 yards and a touchdown last week. Seha went 6 for 10 with 107 yards. So you have a 1-2 punch at quarterback if you're the Wolfpack.
Ferguson hands the ball up the middle. Malloy looking for some room. You know, Brian, it always seems like Ridgeview somehow, some way finds some talented running back to throw in the mix every year, whether we cover him or not. There's always some talented running back that can make something happen for Ridgeview.
Well, you know, Vance, that's one thing they have. They have athleticism and great speed here at Ridgeview. So it just seems like they just keep replenishing the well. It doesn't run dry. But right now, you got to give the Foothill defense some credit. They're not breaking so far. The front line's doing a good job on the runs up the middle. Can they stop the perimeter in the passing is going to be the question.
Ferguson on the run, rolls to his right, trying to get out of trouble, but he's getting chased down and he's getting thrown down right at the 30-yard line. Great job by Nick Franco. Nice open field tackle and great DB coverage because nobody was open.
Well, you've got to throw the ball away there if you're running out of time. And, you know, fortunately for Ferguson, he only lost maybe 1 yard on the play, but he has plenty of time. It's just when he doesn't see a receiver, he decides to take off and run for it, and he's rolling out to the right. And you see on our audio visual plus instant replay, Nick Franco just bringing him down here at the 30-yard line. It's going to bring up a second down and a long 10 for the Wolfpack.
.6:20 left here in this first quarter. Ferguson in the shotgun. Has Kamari Moya on his right side, but they go up the middle again. Malloy now, but this defense for the Foothill High Trojans have come to play. And don't forget, Dennis Manning was the coach of this Foothill Trojans a few years ago. Now he's on the other side of the football.
Well, against the rush up the middle last year, Vance, Foothill was allowing 220.9 yards a game. And right now, you know, they're doing a great job of filling the gaps up the middle. They're doing a great job of containing the outside. It's just that one pass play that they got burned on earlier, which was what gave Ridgeview life. But we'll see how Ridgeview responds here with a 3rd down and long.
It is 3rd and long. I would say 3rd and 12 at least, Matt. Ferguson throws across the middle. What a great catch. I mean, that was a brilliant catch out there by Spears. Great hands. That looked like our own Brian Adams. Man, that was nice.
Vance, that's what you're talking about. You want to see a receiver use his hands and snatch the ball and then pull it in. That's exactly what the receiver did on that possession. And also a good throw. He only threw the ball whether the receiver caught it or it's going to be an incomplete pass. Now can Ridgeview compose themselves, make enough plays to put the ball in the end zone?
We'll find out. Penalty flag on the play before we get going. And it's going to be on the offense. We'll let you know the names of the Kern County officials tonight. And they are a top-notch group.
You've got the head referee, James Taplin. Umpire is Robin Blair. The head linesman, my good friend Colin Clark. The line judge, Alex Italor. The back judge, Sean Young. And in the box is Glenn Toll, all members of the Kern County Officials Association.
Alex is out there tonight. He's the godfather of the Kern County Officials Association. Alex working on the other side of the field. You're talking about one of the all-time greats, just giving some sage advice. There's a good shot of him right there in the upper right corner of your view right there. Well, we just got out of that view, but that's Alex. Just kind of, there's a good shot of him right there. 4:42 left in this first quarter. We're swimming along nicely. 2nd and 2 for the Wolfpack. They've moved the ball pretty well, but this Foothill defense has stepped up when they've had to. Hard count, nobody goes. Great job by both teams. Now the quarterback looks over, has a quick word with his receiver, Jacob Spears. What's going to happen? Do they have enough time? Ferguson drops back, wants to go to Spears in the corner. They worked on this in pregame, and it is, just over the outstretched hands of Spears. Got a little bit of a push-up there, but not bad. Looked nice.
Well, a good pass by Ferguson to put it in a place where only Spears can catch it. As you see here on our Audio Visual Plus instant replay, he airs it out to the back corner of the end zone, out of the reach of the defender, Cameron Allen, who recovered a fumble earlier, if you remember. And that was overall a good play selection on 2nd and short.
3rd and 3, Matt. I think they go back to the air again, but you never know. They do have Malloy behind Ferguson, and they go to Malloy. Malloy looks, and he runs into trouble. Another great job. Wow, Brian, this defensive front for Foothill making a statement early here.
Well, Vance, you're exactly right. The one thing is not happening is up the middle. The defensive tackles from Foothill are coming to play tonight. Where they have had successes on the outside, getting to the edges, and the quarterback scrambling when there's nothing there. But they're in a situation, Vance, where they're probably going to go on fourth down anyway with about 3 yards. So look for a hard count. If they don't get them, I expect to see a pass play.
All right, head coach Mike Gregg in his second year has Randy Maples as one of his staff members, has some very sound, solid men over there, his coaching staff. Here we go, 4th and 3. They fake the Malloy play action, Ferguson to the right. Looks like a long screen play and nearly picked off, even better than it wasn't. Now it's better field position. First down, Foothill, so another strong hold late in the possession for the Trojans, and it's first down, Foothill.
Another long drive by Ridgeview and another stop by Foothill. And, let's see if that gives their offense momentum as you look at our audiovisual plus instant replay. And getting in there with the coverage was Brian Velasquez. Let's see how this Foothill offense responds. They've been able to hold Ridgeview now twice deep in their own territory. And let's see if they can muster a little offense themselves after having gone 3 and out in their first possession.
3.5 left in the first quarter. Foothill breaks out of the huddle with a lot of energy. And the quarterback's going to be right behind center. That's Ryan Rangel. Rangel has position players spread all over the place, and we've got a flag on the play, and that's the godfather of the officiators. Alex comes in and says, false start. So 1st and 15 for the Trojans. We'll be talking to our very own Matt Alvarez in a bit about his time at Foothill High School. I know Brian has his memories playing against the Trojans in a lot of different sports. I had some great basketball games, and what a great school Foothill is. Older school, Ridgeview, one of the newer schools here in Kern County. Already some great players. A quick snap as they run up the middle with Fernando Leos, and Leos brought down after maybe a yard. We also have some exciting news about our new sponsorships that we brought on board. Sponsorship package that we're excited to tell you about. I'll let you know in the second quarter. What I would like to say right now very quickly is a special Kern County hello. Brian, we haven't been doing any Kern County hellos yet. Here's my first one to all the ladies at Jenny's Restaurant in Delano, California. I told them to watch the game tonight. I said, ladies, watch the game. You've got a lot of great athletes up in Delano. Watch this game. So hello, Marty, and everybody at Jenny's Restaurant in Delano. It's for real. Bright House Network's high school football game of the week. 2nd and 19, a long way to go to get that first down. The Trojans right up the middle, and they pick up maybe one. It looks like they're back at the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and long.
Well, that was a give up the middle to Tevin Hawkins as they run a little bit of misdirection there as they faked Ryan Rangel around like he had the option. But the give was to Hawkins, and he got just over the original line of scrimmage, and now it's going to be a 3rd down and 8 here, Vance.
2:17 left in this first quarter. The sun is still giving its presence to us here. We're not completely dark yet. Beautiful orange sherbet skyline going down. A 3/4 moon coming up behind us. Ooh, things are shaping up nicely with the elements. Rangel throws one up high, floats it up high, and are you kidding me? Was it caught? Oh, nice call by the official there, right on top of it. That was almost an incredible reception by Brian Velasquez. But great call by the official. I actually think he brought it down, but he was out of bounds when he came down.
Well, you see here on our AV Plus instant replay, Velasquez going up for the ball, and he stepped out of bounds. He did bring the ball down, but his left foot was on the line. And great coverage there by Bryson Keaton, the 6'2 senior.
Gave him a chance, though, Brian.
Well, Vance, but that's a situation where the cornerback did a great job of using the sideline, so there was no room for him to catch the ball.
Right.
And also the cornerback from Ridgeview actually went after the ball.
Malloy gets a short punt, and he takes it at the 20, gets run out of bounds, and everybody has to get out of way over there. So, Ridgeview is going to have a 1st and 10. It looks like it's right at the 20.
Well, the field position just keeps getting better here for the Wolfpack. You see the short punt, no hang time whatsoever. Malloy takes it down the right side, and he's able to pick up a good deal of yardage, and Ridgeview back in business once again, but they haven't been able to capitalize on great field position 2 times already.
Well, it's the 3rd time, Matt. On the opening kickoff, they had the ball about the 50 or 40-yard line, so they haven't taken advantage of this short field. And in sports, you have to keep taking opportunities. We saw last week, East was not able to capitalize and lost the game.
Great point, Brian. 1st and 10 Nice little short pitch out here to Brock Martin. Martin still on his feet. Couple of big hits out there. A late flag comes in, a late flag. But Brock Martin, one of the big names for this Ridgeview Wolfpack. He's a 6'1", 185-pound linebacker, halfback. He's a player that you're going to hear a lot about. But it's a penalty on Ridgeview. What's the call, Matt?
Call was holding, and it looked like it went against or just in that pile out there towards the end of the play. But, you know, it was a good play there.
Our thanks to the Ridgeview Booster Club, the athletic department, just always take care of us when we come out here. They gave us a huge plate of tri-tip sandwiches. Unfortunately, Brian didn't get one. I really wouldn't have gotten one. I wouldn't have been able to have one had it not been for Mark, the cameraman, giving his up. Our rookie again just comes through.
Oh, man.
Doesn't bring us any food, but he plows through a sandwich before the cameraman. They've been here since, 5 o'clock this morning, setting up cameras, everything. And Matt rolls in about 20 minutes before the game and grabs a sandwich. Attaboy, rookie.
He thinks he's already at ESPN, Vance.
Nice option out here. Oh, what a good move. Beautiful move by Martin. Now Martin has more room. He's running right at Brian Adams. Couple of big hits, but a great presence out there in the open field. Breaks one tackle and then just makes the most out of what he has left, Captain.
Well, a great move by Martin. You see here on our audio visual plus instant replay on the option as he gets around the tackle of Brian Velasquez. If you're Velasquez, you're pretty much the last line of defense on the outside. You've got to make that tackle, and now Ridgeview has the ball back at the 15-yard line. They're back in business here with a 2nd and 5.
Foothill High School, a nice crowd here tonight. They brought some people with them over there from the southeast side. They're excited. The football is a misdirection play on Ridgeview's part. It went to, I think it went to Malloy. Malloy had it.
That was Malloy. And,
okay.
You know, they run the ball up the middle again. This Foothill defense not giving very much to this up the middle game for Ridgeview. But it's nonetheless, Ridgeview's faced with a 3rd down and short here. And we'll see what they pull out of their hats here as the first quarter's winding down.
Possibly the last play of the quarter. Let's see if they get it off. 6 seconds. Probably won't. Probably won't. I don't think that they will. That's it. That's the end of the first quarter. It's been a fun first quarter. No scores yet, but some big plays, some big hits. You're watching High School Football Game of the Week exclusively on Bright House Networks Bakersfield. Back in a moment with the second quarter.
Don't miss the unrated director's cut, not shown in theaters.
By the Jungle Judge.
Robin Hood. Spencer's life is perfect. As long as his wife...
There's something I should probably tell you.
...doesn't know about his job. Killers. Get new hit movies the best way possible on Bright House Networks.
Back here at Ridgeview High School, 12 minutes up on the clock here, the second quarter. And Ridgeview deep in Foothill territory once again. They're at the 10-yard line here, faced with a short 3rd down. And Foothill has been able to hold this Ridgeview defense twice deep in their own territory, but Ridgeview obviously has other things on their mind right now as they're looking for the end zone. So here's Ridgeview, 3rd and 1. Seha behind center in the shotgun. They hand it up the middle. Nope, they still have it. Seha up the middle once again. He's tackled, but it looks like he's going to have enough for the first down as Manuel Murillo was in there with the pressure, and he tackled Joe Seha.
So you're right, 1st and goal. We'll see where it's at. Brian, where's that ball?
Vance is about on the 8-yard line.
Okay, 1st and goal from the 8. What a night. What an absolutely beautiful night. Oh, man. First and goal from the 8, 11 and a half left here in the first half, second quarter. Just started the second quarter on Bright House Networks. Seha in trouble, being pushed out of the pocket. Flag on the play, lobs it up, and it is, we'll see, it's caught. And the referee raises his hands, but the head official already has the call out, and it's holding on Ridgeview, no touchdown. So that one's called back.
Yeah, this one's definitely going to come back as, you see Seha, he had plenty of time. He rolled out to the right. As you look at our audiovisual plus instant replay, there you see the hold. It's on number 55. That's Kenny Willoughby. And Seha just the lob pass up there.
Oh, nice play.
To Brock Martin. Yeah, it was a great catch, but it was all for none. As now it's going to be 2nd and goal, but it's going to come from the 18-yard line.
Brian, on Monday Night Football, we saw the Dallas Cowboys thought they had a game-winning touchdown, gets pulled away because of holding on a lineman. When that happens, from your perspective as a big-time college receiver, do you ever go have a chat with that offensive lineman?
Well, Vance, that's just part of the game. It's just unfortunate the timing was at the end of that game on the last play, but that goes on all the time. So, unfortunate as a receiver, you just have to take it off the board and move forward. But
Thank you, Brian. Wasn't really even a fumble; just bounced off his shins and his hands. And Brian, one other thing about that story, I read that after that game, that receiver was going on the Dallas charter jet back to Dallas, and guess who his seat was assigned next to? The lineman.
That's just the way it goes, Like I said, unfortunately for the Dallas Cowboy fans and for that lineman, he got caught on that play. But they're going to play 15 more games, man, so a lot of things are going to happen in this season.
Talking about a lot of things happening this season, we are absolutely thrilled because next week we'll be joined by new media sponsors for the high school football game of the week. Somebody out there is getting awfully smart and awfully hip because they know that high school football game of the week is watched by a mountain of people for many, many months, not just on Friday nights or Saturday mornings. We'd love to welcome aboard Crab Radio and KHTY Fox Sports Radio and KGET's Friday Football Extra. For Crab, thanks to our new high school football game of the week sponsor, don't miss Kevin and Bean in the morning, Robin's Really Retro Show, and Danny Spanks and the real Bruce Wayne on 106.1 Crab. For KHTY, thanks for our new high school football game of the week sponsor, Fox Sports Radio 970, home of the world champion Los Angeles Lakers and NASCAR, and now the new home for the Bakersfield Condors. So fantastic new radio partners, Crab and KHTY. Can't wait to bring them into the fold, and I'll let you know about KGET a little bit later in the telecast. So now we have some radio and TV partners starting to say, hey, we are not going to miss the opportunity to join forces with Bright House Network's high school football game of the week. Seha throws it in the corner, bounces off the hand of Jacob Spears. I've got to throw it down to the captain. You were about 5 feet away, Brian. What'd you see?
Well, Vance, the ball just hung up in the air too long, and the defensive back made a great play at knocking the ball and jumping up the peak and knocking away from the receiver. But it was a good opportunity, and they're going to have 3rd down and goal again, so let's see what they can come up in this play for a touchdown. That's what they're going to need.
Well, you see here on our audiovisual plus instant replay, they throw it up, and like Brian said, that ball just hung up a little too much for the receiver, Jacob Spears. He has a height advantage, though, at 6'1". So, that I wouldn't be surprised to see them try that again here on 3rd down.
Ricky Avaro out there defending. 3rd and it says 22 from the 22. Seha in the shotgun. Play action. Seha looks, floats with it in the flatlands. And that is interception land, but it didn't happen. And that'll bring up 4th and long. 4th and long. Do you know much about our Ridgeview kicker tonight or no?
It's Daniel Reyes. He's a junior, 5'6", 150. Converted on an extra point last week in a win over Independence. As you look at that play, Vance, you notice that the Ridgeview offensive line is starting to give Seha a little bit more time, or their quarterbacks, whether it be Ferguson or Seha, a little bit more time, and still unable to convert. But let's see if Ridgeview can put some points on the board and take advantage of that great field position here with Daniel Reyes.
All right, it's a 32-yarder. The snap, the hold, the kick. What a leg. Is it through? That's beautiful. Man, that was a nice looking kick. So Ridgeview on the board at home, 3-0.
Well, like I said, Ridgeview finally capitalized on the great field position, but this could be a win for the Foothill defense. 3 possessions inside their own territory, deep inside their own territory, and only 3 points for Ridgeview. But let's see if Foothill's offense can get anything going, because they haven't been able to muster any sort of offense against this Ridgeview defense.
Continuing on with our new media partners, how exciting is this? You can now catch any Bright House Network's high school football game of the week that you missed on Channel 21 on Bakersfield On Demand, Channel 300. That's digital. You know that already. All games that we televised this year are available 24/7 to order on demand for free on Bakersfield On Demand, Channel 300. And while you're there, you know what else you can watch? KGET's Friday Football Extra with who else? Todd Strain. Catch highlights from all the week's high school football action on demand at Bakersfield On Demand, Channel 300. So welcome Crab Radio, Fox Sports Radio, KHTY, and KGET Friday Football Extra with Todd Strain. Man, we're loving it. How about Premier Equipment Rentals with these great scissor lifts and Audio Visual Plus for our replay sponsorship? It just gets better and better and better. Saw Todd Strain last night at the old Jam Lakers party. Hung out and interviewed Ron Artest. What a cool cat he is. What kind of a short approach to that kick, but he sure got it up there, and it's taken by Brian Velasquez. Velasquez still on his feet. Nice run. Good run. 1st and 10 Foothill. High school football game of the week. That's what you're watching. Hope you're enjoying it.
You see Velasquez up here. He doesn't really have much of a wedge to work with. Nonetheless, he still got it over the 20-yard line. But let's see what Foothill does. They've been they haven't gone to the pass as much as we thought they would have. Rangel only had 6 attempts last week in the passing game, converted 3 of them, 1 for a touchdown. So we'll see what Foothill does on this drive.
10:41 left here in this first half. Right up the middle, a nice handoff to Tevin Hawkins. Hawkins trying to get some space out there.
Hawkins didn't see much time last week, but he goes up the middle there for a couple of yards, and Ridgeview defense swarms around that one and makes the play. As see our AV Plus instant replay. Great job of holding onto the ball as he evaded a tackle right at the line of scrimmage, but it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8 here for Foothill.
Clock moving along briskly. Hope I don't jinx this. Nice pace. Roger Reese. Or Ruiz, or Reese. I grew up in Arvin with a lot of Reeses, R-U-I-Z, but you never know. At Foothill, is it Reese or Ruiz?
I've heard it pronounced both ways, Vance, to be honest with you. Reese, Ruiz. Let's, we could take a guess and say Reese. I think Reese is easier to say.
How about if we say Roger?
Roger, we'll call him Roger.
3rd and 9, big play here for the Trojans. They have been giving Ridgeview fantastic field position. Ridgeview started their last series on the 20-yard line. They had 20 yards to punch it in, couldn't take advantage of it. And Foothill, right now on a 3rd and 9, needs to get a 1st down here. And it is a play action and really, really overthrown. It was intended out there for Fernando Leos, but Rangel not really at his best and his sharpest right now as far as his rhythm and his timing and his accuracy. So here come the Trojans having to punt deep in their own territory again on a 4th and 9.
Well, Leos was open on that play, but like you said, Vance, Rangel just needs to find his rhythm here as they line up in punt formation. Well, it's not necessarily a punt formation. They have 5 split out. You don't see that very often on 4th down and 9, but we'll see if Rangel can get off a better punt here, as it looks like Foothill is taking a timeout.
We have a timeout. Captain, let's take a look at some of these football games tonight. Your Bakersfield Drillers, 1-1. They're traveling to Quartz Hill. This is kind of a quirky Quartz Hill trip to be taking. Sometimes these trips, you're not mentally focused. You don't lock it in, but your thoughts on Bakersfield at Quartz Hill.
Well, Vance, I don't know much about what Quartz Hills has this year, but they're a program much like Redwood. Some years they're really good and some years they're down. You never know. But I think the drillers are going to come out there and take care of business, and it'll be 2-1.
How about Garces hosting Arvin, the Campbell cousins, Blake Campbell at quarterback, Grant Campbell at running back and linebacker. You've got Jalen Sykes, you have Winkler, you have a lot of offensive threats out there. Could my Bears possibly hang on at Garces?
Well, fans, I know you don't want to hear this, but your Arvin Bears get mounted tonight.
Wow, taxidermy references? Taxidermy references? Oh my gosh. Well, 4th and 9. I find it hard to believe that Foothill is not going to punt this football away, other than the fact that maybe they think their defense is that stout. But I firmly believe this ball is going to be punted. Ryan Rangel is in a short shotgun, really short shotgun. Just a quick snap, quick punt. And finally, they got this one in, not bad at all. And it's taken out there by number 26, and that's Robert Huggins. Huggins looking for some room. Huggins picking up blocks. Huggins still on his feet on the other side of the football field. Huggins, big hits going on. Hey, nice run back. And Matt, no matter what, good punt, bad punt, they end up with great field position.
Well, there you go, Vance. I mean, they should have went for it on 4th down because they ended up in pretty much the same spot as you see Huggins here around the right side. And he gets a great wall, gets great protection along the sidelines. Ridgeview back in business once again, looking for something more than a field goal here on this possession.
Well, fellas, I think that's Ridgeview's best offense, or best part of the game is their special teams. Last week they had 2 returns called back, and that's what they're going to be special at because of their athletes. If they can get them out in space on low kicks and have opportunity to make returns, they're going to bust some big ones.
That's great point, Brian. Ferguson throws deep into the corner. There's going to be a battle for the football. Who ends up with it? What'd you see down there, Captain?
Well, Vance, once again, they're trying to throw a fade route, but what the receivers aren't doing, they're just going gently out to the corner. They're not attacking any part of the defender's cushion. The defender's playing off almost 10 yards when he's backpedaling. So one of the routes that I would do now, I would do a stop route, come off the line hard and just stop and let the ball come out to him. It'll be one-on-one, which he probably won't be able to tackle Shannon Edwards out there one-on-one like that. It's a tough tackle. But the ball also is in the wrong spot. It's too far inside. It has to almost be 1 yard off that sideline.
It's Jacob Spears against Ricky Avaro on that left side of the football field. This time it's a handoff, and it's to Brandon Tripp. And Brandon Tripp is just a train.
Tripp had a great hole along the right side. And Ridgeview able to pick up another 1st down. You see the handoff on our AV Plus instant replay. And a touchdown-saving tackle made here by Nathan Vance.
What a great last name. Are you kidding me? That guy has one of the greatest last names in the history of all names.
Nathan Vance.
Well, I sure hope he makes a lot more plays. All right, 1st and goal from the 9. Ferguson in the shotgun. They give it to Tripp again, and Tripp just bowls his way down to the goal line. Did he get in? No. Goodness. Strong runner.
They go right back to their bread and butter here as, Foothill's defense looks like they're starting to possibly get a little tired out there because they've been on the field so often in this first half. But you see Tripp up the right side, gets upended there by a Foothill defender. Nonetheless, Ridgeview faced with a 2nd and goal here from the 4 yard.
7:50 left in the half. Ferguson in trouble in the backfield, but he gets out. That's Malloy. Malloy in big trouble. Oh, that's a big play for Foothill. And we see it again, right when they're, forget about knocking on the door. It's almost as they're opening the door to the goal line or to the end zone, and they have some more problems.
Well, a huge play for Foothill as they get Ridgeview back to the 15-yard line, it looks like. You see here on our AV Plus instant replay. A big hit there, but you've got to wrap up. That was Curtis Fainer, it looks like, on the missed tackle. But there you see Dimitri Ortiz. Looked like he might have got a little bit of the face mask there, Vance, on the tackle, but nonetheless goes uncalled, and it's 3rd and goal. Again, a long end goal conversion opportunity here for
Brian,
Ridgeview.
you've got this tall quarterback, and they call a timeout. I think the Ridgeview coaching staff thought about it for a moment. What's on your mind, Captain?
Well, Vance, I think they have to figure out a way. One, they're having time now to pass the ball. So now they got to figure out what kind of route are you going to run.
Right.
They've tried about 4 or 5 fades. They only caught 1 on the jump ball. I think they have to be a little more creative. If they're going to drag a receiver across like they tried twice with the tight ends and one with the back, they have to let that back get across the field so he can run away and pass the defender. They're throwing the ball a little too early so that defender has a chance to break before the receiver. So I think they have some options, but I think they have to be patient and let the play develop and let the guy drag further across the field.
There's a look at one of our all-time BHS driller greats and a UCLA Bruin. And here we come out of a 3rd and 15 timeout. Ridgeview with a lot of options, a lot of weapons, as we see again on the left side. It's Jacob Spears going up against Ricky Avaro. Ferguson in the shotgun. Has Malloy behind him. Takes his time. Ferguson floats one out, and it will be caught, but it's at the 1-yard line. Boy, he flicked it out there, and it hung out there a long time. Brock Martin, I thought he was going to run out of real estate, but made the catch and pulled it in. Now it's going to be 4th and very, very close.
Well, it's a lot more makeable 4th down and goal here for Ridgeview. I think they're going to keep their field goal unit on the sidelines, much to my dismay, but nonetheless, I'm not a coach. There you see the great pass. Unfortunately, he did run out of real estate, but it was after he reeled in the ball and put Ridgeview in a better situation here at 4th and goal from the 1-yard line.
Dante Malloy right behind Ferguson in the shotgun. They give it to Malloy. No, they don't. Ferguson pitches it out. Faked everybody out, including me. Nice ball fake, and they end up with a short pitch to Martin, and he gets in. That was a great play call and executed very, very well. Touchdown, Wolfpack.
Well, you'll see here on our Audio-Visual Plus instant replay,
they
fake up the middle, great fake to Dante Malloy, and then they run the option, and who else but Brock Martin, the 6'1", 185 junior, walks right in for the touchdown, untouched, to give Ridgeview a 9-0 lead here.
Head coach Dennis Manning, phenom in itself. West High School Viking, BC Renegade, has just done a great job coaching wherever he goes, and that is right through the upright, and on top of the Ridgeview tunnel. It's 10-0. You're watching exclusive full game coverage of the high school football game of the week on Bright House Networks. I'm Vance Palm, joined by Matt Alvarez and the Premier Equipment Rental Scissor Lift. Brian Adams, our captain, down on the field. Week 2 of this 2010 season. We have some news for you about upcoming games. We're not 1,000% committed to next Friday night yet. We are kind of feeling that one out as the evening goes, but we are 1,001% committed to next Saturday, a very special Saturday Bright House Network High School Football Game of the Week, September 25th. It is the annual Holy Bowl between San Joaquin Memorial and Fresno at Garces Memorial High School. Wow, we get to see Grant Campbell, Jalen Sykes, Blake Campbell, Mr. Winkler, all of the big names up there. How about Tanner Lair? Woo! That's going to be a Saturday edition. And Brian Adams is telling me that we might be doing a live pregame show for Fresno viewers. So, Matt, better bring your A game, nice suit and tie. Don't forget the food.
Will do.
10-0 Ridgeview. This one's a low burner, but it's going to be, well, it goes into the end zone, so it ends up going into the end zone. I think for just a moment, Brian Velasquez thought maybe that'll take a real funky bounce and go out of bounds, but it doesn't. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 20. All right, Coach Brian Adams. Footill's got to get something going here on offense, my man.
Well, Vance, they got to get something going, but, you know, Rangel so far has not really had a chance to throw the ball without pressure. The last time he was under pressure from Kyrie Wilson, and the other series before that, they converged to tackle him on another sack. So he's not having time to throw it. They got to get something quick, and hopefully they can bust something on the running game, but they got to hope for some kind of spark on their offense to get going.
Rangel right behind center. They hand the ball off in the first play, and they get to the right side, and it's taken out there by Tevin Hawkins, but he's brought down maybe after a yard, maybe 2. Nice tackle.
Oh, that was Kyrie Wilson on the tackle, and as I was told earlier, he is headed to the University of Oregon next year, a verbal commit. And he's the head of this very fast defensive Ridgeview unit, and one that's been able to hold Foothill to not many yards gained here in this game so far.
We'll have more on Kyrie Wilson from the best possible source possible out there, our captain Brian Adams, but we'll get more to that in a moment. 6:12 left here in the first half. A nice play, well designed, and look at this, Foothill now on the run. A nice end around by Billy Villegas, and Villegas picks up a first down. Now that's just what the doctor ordered right there for the Trojans.
Well, Villegas was their leading rusher last week. He had 7 rushes for 70 yards and a touchdown, and you see him around the right side here on our AV Plus Instant Replay, able to pick up a lot of yardage, and that's Foothill's first down in quite a while, Vance.
Thank you, Matt. Under 6 left here in this first half. Could be an all-time world record for fastest half for a high school football game, and yep, I just did officially jinx this. The handoff to the right side, some nice blocking out there by Foothill. Villegas again, ooh, a couple of punishing hits out there. Odrum, Brooks.
Well, to be honest with you, Vance, I think Brooks got the worst of this one as you see
I don't
Villegas.
know. Dante Malloy is in there too.
He put his head down. I mean, he was looking for that first down marker. As
Let's
you see
see.
on our AV Plus Instant Replay, we'll see he gets a good lead block there by number 33, Curtis Fainer. And right at the end of the play, oh, man. Well, nonetheless, there was some good contact there by both parties. And Foothill starting to get something going here.
Nice big hit. 5:10 left in the first half. 2nd and 9. They try to go up the middle again. Nothing doing there. And that was Curtis Fainter on the run. Fainter rolled for about a yard, and it brings up, I think, we'll get some light bulbs out on the scoreboard, but I think it's about 3rd and 2, right around there.
Looks
Maybe
like
3.
Looks like it is 3rd, and if it's 3, it's a short 3. But nonetheless, Fainer trying to go up the middle. Not a lot doing for the Foothill offense up the middle. And you know, Coach Gregg said that they weren't going to be able to run on the outside against this fast defense, but that's what they've had the success doing so far on this drive.
On a keeper. No, a nice ball fake right there. Perfect job by Rangel, and oh, that looked really good, Captain. That looked nice.
Well, Vance, they definitely have something going to their right against that left side of this Ridgeview defense. They're hitting that outside corner. They're able to seal the defensive end in and get outside. They're having some big plays. So I would stay with it if I'm Foothill. They needed something good to go for them, and they finally got it.
Our man Kevin Keys last year talked about that relationship between the quarterback and the running back on the option, and that relationship went well. 4:10 left in this first half, 1st and 10. Matt, you made a great point. You know, Coach Gregg didn't think it would be on the outside, but right now it's been on the outside, and right when Ridgeview thought they were going to stop the outside, they jam it right back up. We've got another timeout here. Let's take a look at some of these other high school football games. Matt, we gave 2 to Brian. Let me throw a couple your way. A big article in today's Bakersfield, California about the Liberty High School squad and their talented quarterback and all of the powerhouse options they have at Liberty. Clovis East at Liberty. 1-1 Clovis East at Liberty. And could be a close ball game.
Well, you know, anytime you play a team that has Clovis in the name, you know that they're going to be good. Like Brian said, though, you know, some will have their off years, some will have their on years. But when you play a team like Clovis, it's like playing a team, you know, that like USC or like Notre Dame, like one of the big name teams. So Liberty's got their work cut out for them tonight.
The Stockdale Mustangs, who we saw last week, that plodding offense, that no-huddle offense, they just coming at East High School. Stockdale at West High School.
Well, Stockdale, they had a rough time holding East's offense last week. You know, fortunately, they were able to keep them out of the end zone, but East drove really well on Stockdale's defense. So Stockdale's going to have their work cut out for them as well. But, you know, you can never count out West High. You know, West always has a perennially good team. And this year, it doesn't look to be any different for the Vikings. As now it's a first down for Foothill with 4 minutes left to go, coming off a timeout. Ryan Rangel behind center, and he has Tevin Hawkins in the backfield. They hand off, and nothing doing for the Foothill offense as that's sniffed out easily by the Ridgeview defense. It was Fernando Leos coming around the end, trying to go up the middle. And Brian, maybe they should stick to this outside game plan that they've got going on the run.
The one thing that's happening is that Kyrie Wilson almost going hard almost every time at the middle. So when you're running a play like that, when you're coming back, you're going to run right into him. That's why he had another tackle in the backfield. And I think that's either the 2nd or 3rd tackle in the backfield. But, you know, one thing that Foothill did have, like we said, is they were getting it going on that outside. I expect them to go back to it soon.
2nd and 15, a loss of 5 on the tackle by Wilson, and they run it to the outside, but that one's sniffed out by the Ridgeview defenders as well, but able to get back to the original line of scrimmage was number 28, Billy Villegas. So they go back to the outside, maybe not by choice, as you see on our AV Plus instant replay. Villegas gets a good block out there by Hawkins and taken down by the big defender, Terry Lilea.
But this is exactly where Ridgeview wants them at, Matt. They want them in a 3rd and long, so now they can bring the blitzes in and force Rangel to throw it quicker than he wants to throw it.
You've got a 3rd and 11 here for the Trojans. And they hand off up the middle, and getting a great burst of speed, but not able to get the first down was number 28, Billy Villegas again. And a first down saving tackle by Kamari Moya, the free safety.
Moya came quick, didn't he? Came quick. 4th down. 4th and 5, so here's a critical decision here with 2:20 left here in this first half. I mean, Coach Gregg, you know, wants to keep this momentum going, make it happen.
I think he's got to go for it, Vance, because you got to figure, even if you turn it over, it's probably the best field position that you're giving Ridgeview anyway. If you get the first down, you keep your momentum going. But if you're punting the ball, they're getting huge returns as it is, so I think it's a situation where he's doing the right thing, and Coach Gregg is going to go for it.
They've got to look at the play clock here, Vance. Might be running out of time.
Oh, boy, it's going to be close. Oh, no. What happened? Well, I think it was Foothill that called it at the very, very last second. So heads up on that coaching staff. They knew they were down to about 1 or 2 seconds. Brian, I think it's a no-brainer. I think it's the right call to get out here. You know, the one thing we see for sure is the special teams from Ridgeview.
Yeah, and they are special for them, especially when you're talking about your return game. They're going to be a team that's going to be able to make big plays throughout the season with the return guys. Because, you know, it's one thing when your deep back catches the ball, he can make plays, but all their up backs are very athletic. So if they get a ball short and low, like Matt said earlier in the first punt, they're going to make a big play 15, 20 yards on a punt return or on a kickoff return. So I think they're doing the right thing. Coach Gregg and his crew, you know, they're going to try and get Ridgeview to jump off sides. I think they're going to do a couple of hard counts and see if they can't get 5 yards the easy way. But I still think they have to go back to what's been their best play so far, and that's going on that outside. They're still trying to go up the middle more, like you said, Matt. Then they're going to, it's bouncing out because of the design of the flow from the defense of pushing it out, but they're trying to go off tackle. So I expect them to, in this, maybe do a little play action and hit the tight end or something like that.
Here we go, 4th and 5, 1:54 left, and it's going to be a big play either way. If Ridgeview holds them here, they're going to be in command for the rest of this half, and maybe they can actually get some more points on the board. If Foothill gets it 6 yards, then they have a little bit time left to try to put something up on this scoreboard. Here we go, 4th and 5, and it looked like some early motion. This ball's flicked out there. A nice play call by Foothill, and I think that it might have been just a hair of motion right before the play call, but it goes unnoticed. Good for them if you're a Foothill Trojan fan. First down, baby. Nice play.
Well, like you said, it was a great play call as they look out here in the flat, and they found Fernando Leos, their main man. You see here on our AV Plus instant replay. Rangel looks, and he fires to Leos, who's wide open here along the near sideline, puts his shoulder down, gets a couple extra insurance yards on the play, and he's out of bounds with 1:47 left here in the second quarter. Foothill deep in Ridgeview territory now.
Officially 1:47. They'll start it here in just a moment. Or did he get out of bounds? He did get hit out of bounds. So 1st and 10 Foothill. Option. Rangel decides to keep it again. Cuts up. 3 guys went for the fake. Rangel gets brought down after a nice gain of 12 yards. That's 2 very nice keeps in a row.
Well, Vance, what I like about it is they're trying to go outside again. Now he gets them off the pitch. These guys don't want to fly to the running back. Somebody lost their assignment. Somebody's got to be the quarterback. Somebody's got to be the pitchman on defense. Not everybody can go for the running back. They went for him. Big play by Rangel.
Well, what a decleater by Roger Reese on Shannon Edwards, the cornerback. It's great work by our cameraman there to get that one in.
I might want to see that again. I might want to see that one again. 1st and 10. Here comes the end around, and look at this, everybody. It's going to be a big hit at the goal line. Helmet pops off. They don't get the touchdown, but Billy Villegas is looking for it. Wow.
Well, what an effort and what a hit. Boy, are the helmets popping tonight. You see here on our AV Plus instant replay, Villegas around the corner, evades a face match there and dives for the end zone, but he is met hard by Kamari Moya at the goal line. But nonetheless, Foothill right here on the 1 yard line, Vance.
Well, I think the coaching staff for Foothill thought for a second that it may have been helmet on helmet. We saw that it wasn't. It was close, but we have a timeout on the field. Let's take a look at both of those plays back to back. Let's go to the first play right before that. And you called it, Matt. What a block.
Well, you see number 4 right here for Foothill, right there. He gets a hit in right there. D. Cleater, beautiful block on Shannon Edwards, able to give Ryan Rangel a little bit more running room.
That's a nice setup play for this next play where Billy Villegas takes a nice end around, picks up some blocking. Here he goes.
On our AV Plus instant replay, Villegas running down the sidelines once again, and then boom. Oh, that is definitely helmet-to-helmet hit, but you know what?
Pretty close.
It went uncalled, and Kamari Moya kept him out of the end zone, which was his job, as Villegas' helmet went flying about 5 yards there, Vance.
Our producer tonight, the Godfather, Zach Flores. Zach, try to run that back for us one more time, as slow as humanly possible when it gets down to the goal line. You tell us. I don't know if it was helmet-to-helmet. I thought it was shoulder-to-helmet, but it looked close. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, helmet to helmet. Well, the coaching staff for Foothill had a point, but I'll tell you this, Villegas didn't look like it. He popped up and said, hey, I was in. Here we go. First and goal. They look like they're going to push it in, and that's not going to fly. We had a lot of motion, and it was a case where the center and the quarterback, they knew what was going on. They moved, but now that hurts.
That really hurts Foothill because it puts them at a first and goal inside the 1 yard line to now a first and goal at the 6 yard line. So, you know, you can't be happy if you're Coach Greg here for Foothill, as now you're down to a minute 15 left on the clock and you're at first and goal on the 6 yard line as opposed to inside the 1, Vance.
After all that work, Captain.
Just too anxious. You got to be patient when you're down there. You can't rush it.
Well, now it's first and goal from the 6. Changes things drastically. Now they're going to come behind Rangel in a big, big play as Dante Malloy just kept coming, didn't stop, and Rangel kind of got heavy-footed there, maybe slid a little bit or slipped, and that's all it took for somebody as speedy as Malloy to catch up to him.
You see on our AV Plus instant replay, Rangel kind of loses his footing, like you said, Vance. Whoa, knee might have touched the ground back there, but nonetheless, Dante Malloy, one of the captains of this Ridgeview squad, able to hold Rangel to limited yardage.
And now we have more flags, more whistles, and in this scenario, it doesn't bode well for the offense as the officials look like they're going to march it back again.
And that's actually going to go against Ridgeview, Vance.
Oh.
So that's going to put Foothill. It won't put him at the 1 yard line, but it'll put him half the distance to the goal.
You know, one thing about it too, though, guys, is might have worked out to their advantage if they can score. Because if they scored earlier, it would have been about a minute and 20 seconds left.
Right.
That would have been a lot of time for Ridgeview to come back and score. Now if they score, it's going to be less than 30 seconds more than likely by the time they kick the ball off. And it's going to have to be a full field for Ridgeview to go to unless they get a return. So it might have worked out in their blessing to be able to go down 10-7.
Great point. The clock's moving now. We're at a half a minute left here. Rangel, he's going to have to push it in again. This time he will not get there. He gets stopped. He gets held up, and all of a sudden.
Well, they got to hurry up because they're out of timeout, so they got to go right away.
They don't have a timeout. So 19, 18, 17, 16, 15.
That's why you couldn't run up the middle like that, Vance, without timeouts. Everything needed to be to the outside on that.
Uh-oh, they might have to just spike this one down, give him some time. What are they going to do? No, they keep the ball. Will he get in? He does! Touchdown, Foothill! With 1 second left in half. Brian, you called it. They score with no time left.
Well, Vance, and the one thing they have to realize their biggest success has been going to the right, to the outside, whether it's been the option, riding the guy on the dive, and then coming out, but they have to keep attacking that outside. There's not going to make any money come up the middle.
Matt?
What a play by Rangel. I mean, you saw yourself, he's making the plays happen here for Foothill. The triple option fools Ridgeview once again, and Rangel goes in for the touchdown with 1 second left. You know, they've been having some trouble kicking the ball. You know, on the kickoffs, you see Ridgeview has been getting all the great field positions. So like you said, Brian, they leave him with 1 second left. Not a lot you can do with 1 second on the game clock.
Matt, you said it. What an apropos finish for that drive to have Rangel be the guy that punches it in, because in my mind that was just one long possession where that quarterback had control of his offense. He had poise, presence, didn't get rattled. You know, they had a long 3rd and 5 in the middle of the field, and if that doesn't get converted, he draws up a nice play and puts it right in his receiver's hand. So the quarterback, Ryan Rangel, showing some leadership there.
Well, Vance, I mean, you're talking about quarterbacks as you said. You're the quarterback. This kid's a 3-year starter.
Right.
He played very well a few years ago when he was a sophomore, when he had a lot of guys around him under Coach Manning. So he has some ability. Now they just put him in a situation where he can make plays for his team and give his opportunity to play well.
10-7. Foothill gets on. And with 1 second left, Matt, never know, but boy, what a great way to go into the locker room at halftime for Foothill.
And that's going to give him so much momentum coming into the second half, Vance. And, you know, that's a typical Ryan Rangel drive. Not a lot of passes. He tried only 2 passes that whole series, completed 1 along the sidelines for a big 4th down conversion. But he led the team down the field against this, highly touted Ridgeview defense, and he was able to put it in himself and get Foothill within 3 points here.
Well, just a couple of fantastic option keeps. And Foothill will kick off with 1 second. What will they do? Wow, they do a little onside here, and fumble! Well, with no time left, it's a moot point, but still pretty exciting way to finish the half for Foothill as they score with 1 second left and return an onside kick. Look at this, 10-7's the score. We're at halftime. You're watching High School Football Game of the Week exclusively on Bright House Networks Bakersfield, brought to us by Premier Equipment Rentals and Audiovisual Plus. Back with the third quarter.
Got a job to do? Premier Equipment Rentals is your answer. Residential or industrial, we've got exactly what you need to get the job done. Whether it's a drill, trencher, bobcat, backhoe, or excavator, you can always count on Premier Equipment Rentals. And with our new extended hours, we're available when you need us. Check us out at 3217 Patton Way and 5001 Stein Road, or give us a call to find out more. Don't forget to ask about our weekend specials. Make your next project a breeze with Premier Equipment Rental.
Welcome back, everybody. Start of the third quarter. We're expecting a really nice second half here. It was a super first half to call. Ridgeview kicks off to Foothill. Foothill closes the first half with some momentum. Let's see what they can do here. Right up the middle of the football field. Well. Brian Velasquez heading for the corner. Will he get there? Velasquez runs and gets down to the 8-yard line. Caught by Bryson Keaton. And that is a case of taking that momentum into the locker room, and even after a 20-minute, 25-minute downtime, they come back out, and what a wedge right up the middle of the football field, Brian.
Vance does a great job of hitting right up the middle. He's going to beat the kicker one-on-one, but give Bryson Keaton a lot of credit. He uses his speed to go down and save a touchdown and gives the defense a chance to hold and force a field goal or less.
Well, that is the definition of momentum, Vance, as you see Foothill now in great field position, their first great field position tonight, and we'll see if they could punch it in here.
At quarterback, Tevin Hawkins. Hawkins on a keeper. Hawkins in trouble. Looked discombobulated.
Vance, I just got some information that Rangel has a concussion. He suffered on that last play when he scored that touchdown. He's out for the game.
Brian Adams with the scoop. An unfortunate scoop so Rangel out of the football game. We see him right down here below us. He's got his helmet off. He's standing about the 45-yard line at the tail end of that Foothill bench. And as we see, Tevin Hawkins in trouble from the very beginning, and he lost the football. They get it back, so from a 2nd and 9, it's a 2nd and 12, and now their leader, who we talked about at the end of the first half, who just had a stellar 70-yard drive, 80-yard drive down the football field. Now all of a sudden they have Tevin Hawkins behind quarterback. And the Ridgeview defense just all over it. A flag on the play on top of that. So Billy Villegas in trouble. Matt, all this momentum, will it be cashed in on?
Well, you would hope so. If you're Foothill, you've got an illegal block in the back call as James Taplin, the head referee here, making the signal towards the press box. So that's going to move Foothill back even more.
Yeah.
But, you know, like you said, Vance, going into the half, as you see here on our AV Plus instant replay, the block in the back looked like it came from number 6 right there for Foothill. That's Nick Franco.
And, you know, Matt, with this defense now, they see a quarterback in there, obviously a talented kid, Tevin Hawkins, that can do a lot with the football. But, you know, this Ridgeview defense, they're going to go the way that the Foothill offense kind of hints the way that they're going to go. And now it's a 2nd and 25 when it was 1st and goal from the 9. Ouch.
Well, it's a big question mark here, Vance, with the new quarterback in. Let's see if they implement a new different type of offense.
Hawkins has one running back behind him. And that's Franco. They hand the ball up to Franco. Franco busts through the line, and that's a nice run, except for the fact that they're still 20 yards, 15 yards from the goal line on a 3rd and 19, 3rd and 20. Good play, though.
Well, do you go to the air here, Vance, on 3rd down? That's the big question, as you see here on our AV Plus instant replay. Franco gets
hole.
Great block. You could definitely drive a truck through that hole as Franco taken down at the 16-yard line. Common sense would tell you to go to the air here, Vance, on 3rd down and 16. But then again, you have a good kicker, and you could possibly tie the game here with 10-11 left to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Great thought. Kyrie Wilson on that tackle. Saved a possible 1st down. Another great play by the future Oregon Duck. Tevin Hawkins has Franco behind him. And now the yellow flag comes out again. And a delay of game marks it back. It'll be 3rd and 21 now.
That could be the product of having a new quarterback in there, you know, not necessarily relaying the play calls in time. But that's just another setback. You know, you talk about penalties here. There, Foothill's shooting themselves in the foot right now as they had the ball inside the 5-yard line, and now they're backed up to the 21-yard line here, and it's going to be a long 3rd down try.
3rd and 21. We're just underway here in the 2nd half. Dramatic news for the Trojans as their quarterback is out. Franco throws it over the middle, and the receiver was bumped into by 2 defensive backs. I don't believe that ball was catchable anyway, and not a very good play. And as we see now on the sidelines, you have Ryan Rangel, the quarterback. He walks across the dirt track to speak with his relatives, possibly his mom, possibly his dad. He's telling them, of course, I can play, I can do it, I can play. But concussion, light concussion, nothing to joke with, nothing to chance.
Here you go, Vance, as you got Thomas Contreras lining up for a 38-yard field goal.
The snap, the hold, and it is blocked. Blocked. Confusion all over the place. Fumble!
That's a live ball, Vance.
And is it a touchdown? Is it a touchdown? What do you see, Captain?
Well, Vance, it was hard to see, but it looked like the Foothill player got the ball at the end. And we'll see what Tap says as the head referee. See what he's going to come up with.
Great officiating crew, and it's a 1st and goal at the 1-inch line.
Well,
Foothill.
When a ball gets blocked like that, Vance, it turns into a punt. If the defensive team touches it, it's a live ball. You see here on our AV Plus instant replay, Kamari Moya down there. You see number 45, that's Dylan Golansky, tries to pick it up. A big hit by Roger Reese, jars the ball loose. Foothill recovers inside the 5-yard line, once again at the 1-yard line. What a turn of events here at Ridgeview.
From a 2nd and 9 to a 4th and 21 field goal attempt. It's blocked. Now it's 1st and goal from the 1-foot line. And now he's going to pound it in. Tevin Hawkins, touchdown Foothill. You've got to be kidding me. Wow. Wow.
Well, what a turn of events, Vance. The momentum back on the side of the Trojans. You see Hawkins straight up the gut. No questions asked over the goal line. And Foothill takes the lead here at Ridgeview.
13-10. What's shaping up to be a very interesting 2nd half of football. 2 well-matched teams. I think these teams are really good for each other here as far as competition. The snap, the hold, and this bullet is no good. So more intrigue on this crazy start to a 2nd half.
And you know, Vance, that's not something you communicate. It's not something you necessarily communicate every day in practice, you know, when the scenario of a blocked field goal comes into play. But like I said, when the ball gets blocked, if it's still in the field of play, which is from goal line to goal line, it's a live ball. If the defense touches it, then the offense can jump right back on it. However, if the offense touches it, then it's down where it is.
Well, the communication sure went out from the Foothill coaching staff. They obviously had gone over it because they knew that thing was live. They were trying to get to it. And there's a great look at the graphics of our Kern County Officials Association, referee James Taplin, umpire Robin Blair, the line judge, the godfather of officials, Alex Adidior. How about the head linesman, Colin Clark? Back judge is Sean Young. And in the box, Glenn Toll. Who'd you introduce me to a few moments ago?
That was Colin Clark. Colin Clark, the head linesman.
He's a big guy.
He is a big guy. He played ball at East. He was a year older than me.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know that. He looked familiar when I shook his hand. I was getting ready to board the USS Enterprise Premier Equipment Rental, so I was focusing on our embarkation. And there is James Taplin.
Well, let's see how Ridgeview responds now as they find themselves down in a game for the first time this season on their home field nonetheless.
Here we go, 9:38 left in the third. A lot of football left. Foothill will kick off, and it's a low squibbler, and it is bobbled for a moment. Now it's going to be taken about the 25-yard line, and Kamari Moya is taken down. You know, Matt, this Ridgeview team has made some mistakes tonight, but boy, they had a rough night last Friday night.
Oh, you know, as you see on our AV Plus instant replay, Shannon Edwards picking up the ball, and you know, this team is shell-shocked right now, Vance. They didn't expect this Foothill team to come out right now. But you know, one thing that has hurt Ridgeview is their penalties. Last week, Vance, they had 16 penalties, 150 yards, and it erased 3 touchdowns in their 24-17 win over Independence last week. But 16 penalties, I don't think I've counted that many tonight, Vance, but you know, still that's an issue with this Ridgeview High team, is their discipline.
Under head coach Dennis Manning seems implausible.
It does. Very uncharacteristic of a Dennis Manning coach team.
The pitch, here's a man open. It's going to be a pitch pass, a man wide open. Oh, what a catch! What a catch! What a catch! Jacob Spears completely stretched out, launched, and caught a beautiful, beautiful pass. Wow!
Well, talk about your top 10 highlights. They run the halfback pass. Spears, full extension on the layout. What a catch. And
that was beautiful.
It puts Ridgeview right back in business here on the Foothill end of the field.
Man, that right there was a Brian Adams catch. Man.
I don't know about all that, Vance, but one thing about Spears, he does a great job of catching the ball. But,
well, we've got inside head up and a lot of motion. Keep going, Brian.
But Vance, you know, he's the one earlier on the slant route where he snatched the ball in his hand. So he's a great receiver in terms of catching the ball. One thing I like to see him do is run a little bit harder. Had he not slowed down, he probably could have caught that ball. If you show the replay, we got a replay of it. He's diving out. It's almost like a center fielder who doesn't run all the way out. Here at the last minute, realizes the ball's over his head, so he has to take 2 more steps and dive. If he continues to run on that play, he may even have a chance to have a touchdown and catch it in stride. So you'll see right there as he's going, he kind of slows up and he speeds back up and he lays out. Great catch, great concentration.
Perfect call, Brian. Right on it. And that was right below us, right under us. So as the officials, as the coaches for the Foothill staff were trying to say no catch, no catch, deep down they knew it was just a great catch. Hey, look at this. Ferguson in trouble, gets wrapped up at about the 45-yard line. What a fun football game this has been.
Well, Ridgeview hurting themselves again with the penalty to start off after the incredible Jacob Spears catch, as they were backed up 5 yards, only to pick up 1 on that broken play. It looked like Ferguson trying to just muster what he could out of that, only got a yard.
Once again, we're not 1,000% committed to our Friday night game yet. We'll let you know. We are committed to next Saturday night's Holy Bowl between San Joaquin Memorial and Garces. Don't miss that one. 2nd and I believe 13, Ferguson on a draw play. Hands the ball off to Brandon Tripp, and he is tripped up. Maybe he got to the line of scrimmage. I don't think so. I think he lost a yard.
Well, Curtis Fainer gets penetration here on the right side on the AV Plus Instant Replay. You see great tackle by Fainer, goes for the legs, rolls over, wraps up, Little celebration at the end. This Foothill defense is pumped right now with a 3rd down play.
Seven and a half in the 3rd quarter. Play action. Ferguson in trouble big time. Tries to get rid of it, but he wisely hangs onto it. Huge sack for the Trojans. And right in on the main part of it was Nick Franco, amongst other Trojans. I'll give him the first credit. Franco in there to hit him with some other big bodies.
Well, this Foothill defense is absolutely pumped right now. All the momentum has swung solely to the side of the Trojans. As you see, Ferguson evades one tackle. It looks like he's going to throw it here at the end, but he thinks better of it. You know what? It's better to go down and get a punt away than to have Foothill take over with the fumble recovery in their own territory.
Well, Coach Gregg's just done an awesome job with this defense and his coaching staff of really, put this defense together well here. 4th and 22. Ridgeview will punt. Perfect long snap, deep snap. It's going to be an end over end, and let's see what happens here. And a dangerous, scary play out there by, don't have a number 25 on my roster here. Do you, Matt?
I do not.
Beto Uria.
Beto Uria. He's listed as number 2 on my roster, Vance.
Oh, look at that little cat.
And you know, Vance, one of the things that happens now is when you're in practice, you game plan for a certain quarterback to be running the offense that you're doing against. It's going to totally change now because what they're going to do now is be more of a running attack team with the quarterback being a better threat probably as a runner.
Who's that, Matt?
That's Brian Velasquez right there, and that's not a good sign for the Trojans. He's been a stalwart in this Foothill offense. He's been one of the main presences.
You got Velasquez out, you have Rangel out, and now the quarterback Tevin Hawkins and Brian right on cue. I think we're going to see a little bit, kind of like that Ryan Matthews-esque type of play where you just give it to the talented quarterback.
You know, when you got your running back, he's your best runner now. He's going to be your quarterback. He's going to put a lot more focus now on those defenders, especially on the cutback when he comes back on that cutback lane. They're going to have to be Simon-oriented, know who has the quarterback, know who has the dive man, and know who has the pitch man. If they're not, they're going to give up some more big plays.
Will we possibly see him in the shotgun?
I doubt it.
Runs right at behind center. Follows his lead blocker on the play action and gets a nice first down. So another great call there. Just fakes the handoff to Curtis Fainter and just gets right behind him.
And what you're doing is you're getting 10 blockers on 11 now.
Right. 5:41 left in this 3rd quarter. For those of you that have been here from the beginning, you've been experiencing really, really nice football game. You've seen everything in this football game tonight, unfortunately including some key injuries to at least Foothill tonight that have changed the dynamics of the offense and changed the complexion of the football game. However, Foothill leads 13-10. In motion, Jonas Cobb. Big mix-up in the backfield right there. And Matt, those are one of the downsides of one of the obvious downsides of having a new quarterback.
Yeah, a little bit of a mix-up in the backfield, and Dante Malloy was able to get in there before Hawkins even handed the ball off to Fainter, and you never want that to happen if you're a quarterback. That we're lucky that didn't lead to a fumble.
Great to see Rangel down there with his coaching staff. Now he's got the pads off, knows he's not going in. He's a part of this coaching staff now for the night. Standing in there close, listening to the calls. Love to see that, young man. That's a class act, Ryan Rangel. Get in there and be a part of it. The handoff to Cobb around the corner. Cobb, big hit on the sidelines by Odrum Brooks. As we see, Kyrie Wilson almost got to the quarterback. I hope our cameraman can find number 8 for the Ridgeview Wolfpack standing in the middle of the field. Brian, tell us about this young superstar in Kyrie Wilson. I say young because he's going to be a superstar.
Well, Kyrie is a senior this year. As Matt earlier said, he committed earlier this week to the University of Oregon to be a Duck. And one thing about him, Vance, he's a physical specimen. You look at him, he's just almost a man amongst boys. But one thing that he's been working on is his motor, getting a little more effort out there. And you're starting to see him make plays in the backfield. He's shooting gaps. He's all over the field. He really is a special kid. More than anything, he's just a great, nice kid. Thank
you, Brian. 3rd and 9. Here he comes on this play. Kyrie trying to hunt him down. Fernando Leo's in trouble trying to get loose. And Kyrie Wilson didn't need to be in on that play. Everybody got a piece. of Fernando Leos.
Now you see here on our AV Plus instant replay, they just run a sweep to the left side. Watch Leos, though, as he almost loses the ball here as Ridgeview putting pressure on him. You see right there, the ball almost comes out as Bryson Keaton all over him, feigner for the Trojans trying to pull him forward.
Fellas, who's going to punt now?
That's a good question. Rangel doubled as their punter, Vance.
Well, I'm going to bet money on Tevin Hawkins. And on his own 35-yard line is Robert Huggins. And there's the, hey, not bad. Not bad at all. A high booming punt, and it takes a really good foothill bounce. So Tevin Hawkins now stepping into a lot of different roles.
That had some pretty good form, I'm not going to lie. That was a nice spiral.
A one-step form.
Yeah, I'm impressed on that, fellas. You know, he probably hasn't practiced it all week, all season, except for maybe early in practice.
Hey, that was the KISS approach. Keep it simple, son. Just took one step and boom. Well, interesting football game. I've really enjoyed calling this because of the dynamics that we've experienced on both sides of the football, special teams. A great drive by the Trojans to finish off the first half with 1 second left. Little did we know it would be the last drive of the quarterback Rangel tonight because of a mild concussion. Foothill starts off the second half with a 94-yard run back. And now we see a handoff to the right side out there. And Ridgeview gets a few yards. But, you know, Brian, you look at Foothill, they run it down to the 9-yard line, the opening kickoff. Next thing you know, it's 4th and 25 or something like that. They have to settle for a field goal attempt. Field goal gets blocked. They end up with a football on the 1-yard line. Very fortunate.
Well, I think that, but they took advantage of that fortune. You know, last week we saw a team who had those breaks that could not get over the hump and capitalize. So a much different Foothill team this week than we saw in East, ability to capitalize on those. So Vance, I mean, you always come up with great definitions, Vance. Give me a definition of the Ridgeview offense so far.
Well, they've been perplexing. Look like they've had opportunities to do things, and they don't capitalize. And then out of nowhere, they'll make some big plays. So they've been perplexing, or I can't say they've been flummoxing. What? Come on, Arizona.
Flummoxing.
I don't really think you use ing in flummox, but whatever. Second, 2:45 left here in the third. One thing I'll tell you, and I can't believe I haven't hexed this yet. I'll knock on something. This game has flown by.
Careful, Vance.
I know. Tim Wheeler's watching this somewhere. In motion is Martin. Martin, one of the options out there. They end up not giving it to Martin, and nice defensive stop there. I will say one thing, fellas. You guys can jump in, whoever wants to go in. One thing we've seen tonight, and I think we've seen now what we're going to be viewing all season long, is a really good Foothill defense.
Yeah, I think right now what the Foothill defense is doing is they're just playing good, solid football. They're not taking a lot of chances. They're playing their assignments, and they're trying to make Ridgeview beat them with big, you know, you had to beat us. And Ridgeview so far has not been doing that. You know, Ridgeview's been making the mistakes, like you guys have said, getting the penalties and shooting themselves in the foot.
And they're holding a team that averaged 203 rushing yards on the ground, Vance. They're doing a great job of containing this running offense, this high-octane Ridgeview offense. And, you know, Ridgeview only has 10 points here as we near the end of the third quarter.
Well, another thing, Brian, about this, an adjective for this Ridgeview offense, as we see your man Kyrie Wilson. What a great move, as we just talked about him. Hey, look at this. Touchdown. Ridgeview touchdown, Kyrie Wilson.
Well, what a great play by the Ridgeview offense. They come right back and answer Foothill's score. Kyrie Wilson, the soon-to-be Oregon Duck, you see over the middle on our AV Plus instant replay. But you know what really makes this play is the missed tackle right there by Cameron Allen. It was a great move, Vance, but Cameron Allen went in with the shoulder down, the head down. You got to see what you hit, Vance. And that was what allowed Wilson to take it all the way for a touchdown.
So now Daniel Reyes comes in for a very important point after. The snap, the hold, and it is up, and it's good for a 4-point lead. That daunting 1 point. And the Ridgeview crowd happy. 1:29 left in the third quarter, and Ridgeview, as Brian was asking about this offense, boom, there you go.
Well, Vance, then one thing I talked about in that first half, they got to let the drag man get a little bit across field further. This time he caught the ball on the other side of the field, was able to make a quick dip and show great agility and footwork on that, and then he's going to hit the sideline. And when you have a kid that big, he runs a 4.5 240. So probably there's not going to be anybody out here on this team that's going to be able to catch him once he gets in that position.
That's our captain, Brian Adams, BHS driller legend, UCLA Bruin. And we're so fortunate to have him with us every year. You know, Brian and I, we always threaten each other that we're going to hang out and play golf and talk. And the next thing you know, it's August, and we're back on the field together doing football. But great friend of mine, great asset for Matt to be able to grow with here at Bright House Networks. Matt comes in with a heavy resume himself from being in the athletic production world at University of Arizona. So what a team we have at Bright House Networks. Tonight, our producer is none other than the Godfather, Zachary Flores. Two Godfathers tonight. Alex and Zach. On the field, it's the official Alex, and our Bright House truck is Zachary. Soon to be Papa. Long boot. Finally, the first long boot of the night, I think. Taken down there by Urea. Urea hit hard. Oh, what a hit. Oh, right in the ribs. Oh, my goodness.
Well, that was Odrum Brooks delivering the big hit, the 5'8", 175-pound senior.
Beto.
As you see, Beto Urea picking the ball up off the ground, lost his wedge a little bit, and then boom.
Bam. I mean, that is like a complete stop in action. Done. Odrum Brooks has really been laying some serious pops down there. That's like the fourth time we've called him out for some big hits. So Brooks gets some major publicity tonight, at least from us.
Well, now we get to see the second drive without Rangel and without Velasquez here for the Foothill offense.
Fumble! Oh my gosh, that was rough. And now the Trojans could be in a bit of a pickle.
Well, there you see. It was just a missed handoff. Missed handoff there to Fernando Leos. Coming up with the recovery was Leonard Williams. Jumped right on that ball for Ridgeview. And now Ridgeview back in business deep in Foothill territory.
Oh my gosh. This is like a tennis match. It's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And that was an unforced error right there in tennis vernacular. Oh boy, oh boy. First and 10, Ridgeview at the Foothill 15-yard line. A little bit over a minute left in this third quarter. A crucial possession here for the defensive Foothill. Quarterback keeper, Seya, still keeps going till the whistle, and I think they might even give him those extra couple yards there at the end.
I think they're going to give him to him, Vance. That was a great effort by Seya at the end of the play to reach over and put the ball as far as he could. Of course, you want to be really careful when you do that.
Went from the 10 to the 7.
Well, that's when first contact was made. Yeah, at the 10-yard line, Vance. Then he able to pick up 3 more yards for that play. Set Ridgeview up here with the 2nd and 3.
All you JV Froshoff, Golden Empire players out there, that's just textbook knowledge of the game. Whistle doesn't blow yet, keep on going. Now he's in the shotgun, he takes a look at Brock Martin. But they hand the ball off to Brandon Tripp. Tripp muscles his way to the 4-yard line. Looks like it's going to be first and goal from the 5 with 28 seconds left here in the third quarter. Clock begins to tick.
Well, just as the first half, just as the second quarter ended with a touchdown for Foothill, Ridgeview putting themselves in very good position to put somewhat of a kill shot here on the Trojans.
Oh boy. Go ahead, Brian.
The line has to take some onus now. They have not played well. They got to just say, on this drive, we're going to move people out the way and score.
Seya puts his head down, tries to run over a Foothill Trojan and gets 2 or 3 yards, but I'll tell you this, Tony Lopez stood in there and took it.
Did Seya decided to move people out of his way on his own.
The big 70 right there in your screen. He stood right there and took it, said bring it on. That's the end of the third quarter. 17-13. A topsy-turvy flip-flop football game with a lot of storylines. When we come back, you better be here. It's going to be a great fourth quarter on Bright House Network Bakersfield.
Bright House Network's Bakersfield On Demand, Digital Channel 300, your source for exclusive local programming you can't get anywhere else. New programs are added every week, including the most local sports. And On a Tankful, highlights of events in and around Kern County. You On Demand, where you'll never know what you'll see, and so much more. It's all here on your schedule anytime on Bright House Network's Bakersfield Digital Channel 300. Tune in and see what's next.
We start the fourth quarter at a familiar place. That football's been on the goal line a lot tonight for both teams. A lot of goal line stances. We've had a lot of action down there near pay dirt. We start the fourth quarter 17-13. Ridgeview on a 2nd and goal from the 2. And the quarterback is Seha. And that's going to be an easy touchdown. Dante Malloy just kicks to the outside, and that's it. Touchdown, Ridgeview.
Well, it's a bread and butter play for Ridgeview as they go up by 10 now to begin the fourth quarter of play. You see Seha handing off to Malloy on our AV Plus instant replay, and he just goes in untouched. Just how they draw it up in the playbook, Vance.
We're just underway in this fourth quarter. First play of the fourth quarter was that touchdown right there. And coming in for the PAT is Daniel Reyes. The snap, the hold, the kick, and it is a beauty. So an 11-point lead now for the home team of Ridgeview Wolfpack as they welcomed in the Foothill Trojans tonight with some hard hits, some good plays. And actually, Foothill took command here in the beginning of the second half. They were really making a move. And just like that, Ridgeview was able to capitalize on a horrific fumble deep in Foothill's territory. And that's all it took. They punched it in from there. And Ridgeview in the purple tops, gold bottoms. Foothill, white tops, black bottoms. That's a shot of the Foothill sidelines. Special teams.
You know, Ridgeview having scored 2 touchdowns, 2 unanswered touchdowns in a row here, Vance. Foothill definitely looking for something to respond with. You know, even with Ryan Rangel being out of the lineup, even with Brian Velasquez being out of the lineup. And Velasquez is a big part of their offense, Vance. He's their leading receiver going into this week. He had a touchdown catch last week. You know, their leading receiver, I say that because they have 3 completions all season dating back to last game. And, you know, he caught one for 34 yards and happened to be a touchdown last week. So Velasquez out of the game, Rangel out of the game for Foothill. They're relying on some backups here.
Here comes the kickoff. Full quarter of football left. As Reyes will put the boot on it. And a flag right off the bat. Obviously someone was offsides, they'll have to march it back. And it's one of these kind of aggravating penalties if you're Ridgeview. You know, you're starting to get the momentum, you're starting to do some good stuff, taking advantage, punching the ball in, and now, you know, you give a Foothill, kickoff returner an extra bit of space to work with.
You do, Vance. And, you know, like I said last week, Ridgeview, 16 penalties, 150 yards, though. 150 yards negated because of penalties.
Yikes.
I mean, you couldn't find that, you know, in some teams through half the season wouldn't have 150 yards in penalties.
Captain, in your days of returning, you'd have gone for an extra 5 or 10 yards, wouldn't you?
Repeat that, Vance.
You'll take an extra 5 or 10 yards if you're a return man.
Anytime I can get it.
Right. All right, they watch it closely. Now everybody's about 5 yards behind the football. And taking, oh, fumble! Fumble! Oh my gosh, right off his chest.
Well, when it rains, it pours, Vance, and you're seeing here at Foothill luckily able to get it back.
Boom.
Right off the chest. You got to use your hands to make the catch.
And he is, how fortuitous is this? Just stops right where he needs it to. And man, he took a bang on the head there, but that ball could have gone anywhere, as you know, and it just ends up being right where it needed to be for him to jump on that.
A quintessential football bounce.
Man, that could have been the first couple of nails right there for Foothill. First and 10 on their own 23-yard line with Tevin Hawkins now in the quarterback position after Rangel goes down with a slight concussion. Handoff goes to Leos. He's tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Been a very fun, interesting, and intriguing game to call from a broadcasting standpoint. A lot of things have taken place in this football game. Leos basically just kind of has to go down right then and there before he gets punished.
He might have lost his footing earlier in the run, Vance, but nonetheless, Foothill finding themselves in familiar territory, not recently, but to begin the game, they were stuffed by the Ridgeview defense a number of times. Now they find themselves with a 2nd and 13 here on their own 20-yard line.
Nice crowd from Foothill. Visiting stands nearly packed. I'd love to see that. Nothing gets me more excited than seeing a visiting team pack the stands. It's nice. Handoff to the outside, and they're in big trouble there. Wrapped up out there by, I think it's number 54, Leonard Williams, the junior, 6 foot, 200-pounder, and he was all over that.
Well, Williams has a fumble recovery deep in Foothill territory last quarter, as you'll remember, but it's making it way too easy now for the Ridgeview defense to just penetrate. As you see here on our Audio Visual Plus instant replay, Villegas goes in motion, and boy, they need to get a blocker down there because Leonard Williams came in untouched.
Villegas had some hard hits himself tonight, the recipient of them. As the clock continues to tick, we're going to get below 10 minutes probably during this play. 3rd and 10. Hawkins. They're going to keep it on the ground and an attempt to do something up the middle with Curtis Fainter. And that's somewhat of a deflating series right there because here come the special teams unit on for Ridgeview. And you're looking at a speedy, dangerous return man that's going to be standing inside the 50 probably, and that is Robert Huggins.
Well, you see if they'll directional kick like they did last time, as Hawkins actually got a pretty good foot on the ball, as I mentioned. We'll see if they try to punt away from him.
Puts it up there. What's he going to do? And it rolls past everybody, and man, just dangerous territory, so not bad. Foothill at least gets it back over the 50-yard line, so Ridgeview will have it at their own 46-yard line. Not a bad punt. I want to remind everybody, we are very excited. Next week, we'll be joined by new media sponsors for High School Football Game of the Week. We'd like to welcome aboard Crab Radio and KHTY Fox Sports Radio and KGET's Friday Football Extra. As far as Crab's concerned, don't miss Kevin and Bean in the morning, Robin's Really Retro Show, and Danny Spanks, and the real Bruce Wayne on 106.1 Crab. Man, oh man, we're starting to go big time on Bright House Network's High School Football Game of the Week. 1st and 10, 9:18 left in the football game. Saya throws out around the flats out there with an 11-point lead on 1st down. They decide to go to the air.
Well, this is a big series for both teams. Ridgeview can definitely put the nail in the coffin if they go down and score some points on this one. Foothill might be able to gain some momentum if they make a defensive stop on this Ridgeview possession here with 9:12 left to go in the 4th quarter. But one thing you want to do if you're Ridgeview, you don't want to stop the clock, Vance. That 1st down incompletion right there did just that.
It sure did. I'm not laughing at that statement, but I just know my partner down there in the grass so well. It's exactly what he's thinking. You just probably took the thought right out of his head. Why stop the clock right now? Saya goes for a hard count and picks up 5 yards there. As far as KHTY, Fox Sports Radio 970, home of the world champion Los Angeles Lakers and NASCAR, and now the new home for the Bakersfield Condors. The Condors, after 12 or 13 years, have gone over to Fox Sports Radio 970. And for KGET, are you kidding me? Friday's football extra with Todd Strain. Catch the highlights from all the week's high school football action on demand at Bakersfield On Demand, Channel 300. We're rolling. Must be you, Matt, bringing all this big-time stuff to us. 2nd and 5, 9 and 12. Shotgun, Saya has some room. He's going to tuck it in, and he doesn't get much. It's brought down about the 47-yard line.
You're seeing a lot more of Saya now behind center for Ridgeview as opposed to the taller 6'4", 190 Tyler Ferguson. But you see Saya now on our AV Plus instant replay, just runs out of options, so he decides to take it. And Curtis Fainer, good tackle there. It brings up a 3rd down and 5. Huge play here for the Foothill defense.
Saya the senior, Ferguson the junior, so the Coach Manning getting them both in. What do you like here, Captain?
Well, Vance, right now, if you passed on first, you're trying to pass on second. I got to think you may be trying to pass on 3rd down. But the main thing is, Vance, you got to just get a 1st down and keep chewing this clock up.
I formation, Saya, fake handoff, goes to the right, has a man wide open in the middle, decides not to, picks up a 1st down anyway. Kamari Moya picks up a nice 1st down. Whoa, man, he had Brock Martin wide open across the middle, but still a very good pass, very good play, and as Brian said, the most important thing, 1st down.
Well, he had more than one person open, Vance. You were right. He did have a person over the middle. He had Martin, but he also had Shannon Edwards, which is who made the reception here, as you see on the AV Plus instant replay. Seha rolling right, finding a very wide open Shannon Edwards, able to pick up an easy 1st down for Ridgeview out the Foothill 30-yard line.
We're going to tick below 8 minutes right now. Saya on the option, decides to keep it, and at the very last second, it looked like Kamari Morris said, hey, we still have that relationship. Pitch it out here. I'll go all the way.
And you know, it fooled Nick Franco there. Franco was the defensive end on this play. You see Franco, whoop, like Chris Berman would say. Great ball fake by Joe Seha.
Moya was back there saying, you can still tip it to me. You can still get it to me. 7.5 left in the football game, or in the 4th quarter, I should say. You never know what happens in these deals. A 2nd and 5. And now we have Brandon Tripp behind. Look at this. Tyler Ferguson back in the football game. Tripp gets the handoff. He's met at the line of scrimmage, but he takes 2 or 3 Foothill Trojans with him for about 4 yards. So now they're just starting to come at you from every angle, Brian. They're bringing everybody at you now. They're bringing Tripp. They're bringing Malloy. They're bringing Moya. Everyone.
Well, Vance, you know, one of the things they need to do right now is, like I said earlier, it's when the offensive line has to say, you know, we didn't have our best game, but right now in this series, follow us home, fellas. We're going to lead the way. Yep. And I would put the onus on the offensive line right now. Make them fire off, make them block, and give the running backs room to run and try to steal this game.
Look at this, hand up off the middle, and that's a touchdown. What a big run by Brandon Tripp. He just burst through the middle of that interior part of the football field, and it was over. Touchdown, Ridgeview, and starting to take control of this thing late.
Now they go back to the bread and butter, straight up the middle against this weakened Foothill defense. And you see Tripp, the 5'8" sophomore, cashing in on a big drive for Ridgeview. And like you said, Vance, that might very well be the nail in the coffin.
Reyes comes in and smacks another one right through the uprights. 31-13, an 18-point lead for the Wolfpack of Ridgeview. Tune in next Friday night. We're not going to commit to a game for next Friday night. Possibility. There's a possibility that we could be at North High School hosting the Golden Valley, but that's a possibility. So the game's at Golden Valley. Could be the North Stars at Golden Valley, but you never know. could be some developments taking place. What we do know is next Saturday night, on the 25th, we are going to be at Garces Memorial High School for, could be the game of the year in a lot of different ways. Grant Campbell, Blake Campbell, Jalen Sykes, 3 big names, young Winkler, going against the 60-year opponent. I think it's right up there, around 60 or more years. I'll get the official number correct a week from now. 6:46 left in the football game. Yeah, that's a nice 8-iron right down the middle of the football field, high enough that the defensive squad gets a chance, the kickoff team gets a chance to get down there. And it was handled by number 22, Montel Littles. Matt, they need to put something together here, your Trojans.
Foothill definitely needs to get some sort of offensive production. They need some points on the board now if they want to have a shot at this game. You know, they need a couple onside kicks as well, Vance.
Let's talk about your life at Foothill. Great school. I've got a lot of Foothill Trojans that are friends of mine. Great coaching staffs, historical players. You can go down the list and name all the great players. Tell us about your time at Foothill.
My time at Foothill was great. You know, I played a year of JV my freshman year, and then 3 years of varsity under Scott Douglas. You know, Coach Douglas was a great coach. He coached with my dad at BC for so long, and it was a great overall experience. You know, we didn't have the record, you know, that Stockdale had, that BHS had, but overall it was a great experience. And, you know, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I made some great friends. I was coached by some great coaches, and you know, it turned out okay. Great
campus, great administrators. The Foothill High Trojans, longtime powerhouse in athletics, still are. A lot to be reckoned with. Joe Turner, coaching basketball. I remember playing against him and Greg Dodd, and just so many great athletes over there at Foothill High School.
And me and Joe Turner have kept in touch because you know where he went to college.
That's right. That's right. Big JT, the Wildcat. On a 2nd and 3. Arizona, by the way, has a very big football game. Well, your thoughts on the Wildcats? This could be the game of the year.
This is definitely one of the biggest games of the college football season, much less Arizona or Iowa season. You got the 9th-ranked Hawkeyes coming into Tucson tomorrow. It's going to be a red out at Arizona Stadium. All my friends are going. I wish I was there. I'm not flying down. I wish I was there, but I'll be watching on ESPN and listening to the BC game on my radio.
Hey, I'll be calling that Renegade game tomorrow night, hosting Antelope Valley. Brian, are you, what kind of feelings do you have about your Bruins? What are your emotions?
Same thing as last week, Vance. They'll be 0-3, headed 0-4.
Oh,
they have
boy.
some serious internal problems, Vance. That's one of the things. Ooh, what a hit right there. They have some serious internal problems, Vance, and it's not going to be a quick fix. You know, next week, Houston's is a vaunted offense, a team that's playing well. They're playing well last year. They're coming off a good win last week, I believe, and I don't see anything for the Bruins till they figure out some internal problems between their offense, their defense. The offense is just perplexing. Is not the word. They're just horrible. You know, and when you're horrible on offense at that level, Vance, you're not going to make it. Your defense on the field too long, and you're going to get beat.
Thank you, Pete. Brian, always very honest about his Bruins. Appreciate that. Christian Tafoya was the defensive player that smacked Tevin Hawkins around. What a big hit. And I think the Trojans are going to run out of time here. They better get going. It's 4th and 9. They're going to go for it. And Coach Gregg decides to call a timeout. Really only have one shot at it here. This is it on a 4th and 9 or 4th and 3 or 4th and 4. They've got to make something happen here. This football game really is over. So why not call the timeout?
And you know what's funny about this UCLA-Arizona situation, Brian, is that not 4 years ago you could have said the complete opposite for UCLA and you could have said the complete opposite for Arizona. But, you know, Rick Neuheisel, obviously a great coach. You know, he was coaching at UCLA back when you were going there. And Mike Stoops has really turned the Arizona program around. So to finish my thoughts on the Arizona-Iowa game tomorrow, that is going to come down to the wire. I mean, it's 57,000 people, you know, all wearing red tomorrow in Arizona Stadium down in Tucson. Hot and steamy weather. I think Arizona's got the home field advantage. I don't want to give a prediction on the game, I don't want to sound like a homer, but it's going to be a close one, though. That's for sure.
The gleam in Alvarez's eye right now. He's getting misty. He's getting fired up about tomorrow's game. Here we go. 4th and 4. And they're going to go for the long high punt. It's not long. It's high, but it's not long. And bounces around and ends up at the 40-yard line. So that was essentially a 10-yard punt.
Well, yeah, I guess the good thing about that punt is that you have no return to negate your net average. Although I'm sure that's the least. That's the least of Trevor Hawkins' worries right now.
Ever the optimist, Matt Alvarez.
Got to be optimistic about something.
Tonight running the show, Zachary Flores. He has Bernie Johnson with him in the truck. Super Sammy is in the truck with him. Kevin on the South Premier Equipment Rentals. Trying to fix his camera. Get back in the groove, my man. That was funny.
A little bit of offensive confusion by the O-line here of Ridgeview.
Oh, low snap. He's going to have to get on it. He wants to do something with it. Are you kidding me? He does something with it. This is one of the most incredible. Fumble! Oh, my gosh. And a flag. And a flag.
Are you kidding me? He's not listed on our roster, Vance, but are you kidding me? What a play. As the ball is fumbled, snapped right through the legs of the quarterback.
The mystery player. We have no number on 3 different rosters. Sorry, family, we don't have the number.
And as he tries to switch hands, you know, he's doing the right thing, Vance. You always want to have the ball in your outside hand.
Watch this hit, late hit. Get out of the way, Brian.
And the late hit by Ricky Avaro tacks on a lot more yardage.
Wow, for those of you that are just getting to your televisions, I've told our audience a couple of times this has been a real fun game to call. There's been everything in it. Now you just witnessed, you know, almost a snapshot of this entire game. Everything happened on that play, and everything's happened in this football game. 1st and 10 from about the 11-yard line, under 4 minutes to go, and now the quarterback, Tyler Ferguson, who's rotated time with Seah. Ferguson hands the ball off to the mystery runner.
He said Carter?
I think he might have said Carter, the public address announcer. Trying to find that out. Apologize to the family members, and we're not getting, I don't see it anywhere. And we scoured the web. We have our rotations. We have our programs. We've done our homework, but we don't know who number 23 is. Fumble!
Well, who's got it? And Foothill's got it. Beto Urea picking up the ball for Foothill.
Well, now our mystery player is glad we don't have his name. Don't find it, Vance. Right from the beginning.
As you hear "Fight On" being blared behind us by the Foothill band, Beto Urea comes up with that fumble for the Trojans, able to keep Ridgeview off the board for now, with 3:11 left to go here in the game.
Never know. Sometimes things happen. You never know.
It's been one of those games, though, Vance.
Yeah,
it's
you're
been
right.
a wacky game like that where anything can, more than likely will happen.
1st and 10. Foothill. Long way to go.
I'll tell you what will happen.
Our realist,
It's
Captain
a
Brian
Ridgeview
Adams.
victory, but you have to give Foothill a valiant effort. They never quit. And this is one thing, Vance, I was impressed with tonight with Foothill is their defense played well because they stopped the Ridgeview team at least 4 times from scoring when they were in the red zone.
Yep.
So you can't put it off on the defense. And unfortunately, their quarterback got hurt. They just started getting things rolling, and that kind of derailed them because you can't really practice for that. But, you know, one thing I would say about Ridgeview, I know their coaching staff is going to be on these guys come Monday. They're making way too many mistakes to be the premier team in their league. If they cannot clean this up, they're going to struggle this season.
Great points, Brian. And they're still playing hard down to the very end. Jonas Cobb trying to make something happen with 2:20 left here in the football game. It's been a pleasure having everybody with us tonight. We've got Mark up here on our Premier Equipment Rental scissor lift. Tony on the other side. Who's pulling cable for Tony tonight? Jonathan. Okay, Cody Bowman, Super Sammy's better looking half.
They got a little bit of an equipment malfunction here on the Foothill end of things. And you talk about Ridgeview, being the dominant team in this league, the South Yosemite League. You got Golden Valley in that league, Miramonte's in there, South and West. Those are all very formidable teams. And Ridgeview, they have Kyrie Wilson. They have probably the best linebacker in this league, Joe Seha and Ferguson, both
we haven't even
very good quarterbacks.
We not really touched on every single player tonight. That's our fault. We'll get to them as the season unfolds. It's a lot of good players, but a lot of action to try to cover tonight. And we're going to see Hawkins try to do something with it. And the clock will continue to tick. And fellas, you have to also think about it. Hey, you just never know. What if Rangel doesn't go out? If Rangel plays the whole second half, you just never know.
And I think it would have been a different game. He's trying to control the tempo of the game and control that offense and put pressure on defense. But you're right, Ridgeview has a lot of talent. We're talking about guys, both the corners, Bryson Keaton and Shannon Edwards are probably collegiate players in their own right, but when you play against Foothill, they're not going to pass the ball, you're not going to see them. So they have some talented players throughout the team. Their key is going to be, fellas, can they clean up the mistakes and be a crisper, more disciplined team?
Well, with Dennis Manning at the helm, I say yes. Handoff up the middle on a 1st and 10. Everybody gang piling on the tackle now. We'll dip below a minute here. Want to take a moment just to remind everybody of a couple of things. Starting next week, we'll have some new media sponsors, Crab Radio and KHTY Fox Sports Radio and KGET's Friday Football Extra. Get ready for that. Don't forget, these games that we do on Friday night are replayed on an encore presentation at 10:30, and then they go Bakersfield On Demand. If you're digital and you've got the Digital Box 300 is the channel, you can watch it forever. How about tomorrow night? I've got a Renegade game on the radio. You better be listening. You better be texting me, telling me that the audio is good. Or come by, stop by.
Well, BC better be tackling is what they need to do. Antelope Valley, they're a good team in their own right, but BC with the home field advantage, as Foothill's just going to be content taking the knee here.
Want to thank Premier Equipment Rentals for being our sponsor of these great scissor lifts and audiovisual plus. On behalf of our director, Zachary Flores, and everybody involved in this really, really fun football game to call on Bright House Networks Bakersfield. For Matt Alvarez, for Brian Adams, I'm Vance Palm. Have a wonderful weekend. Good night. God bless.
Bakersfield On Demand on Bright House Network's Digital Channel 300 brings you a look at community events in and around Kern County. Our area has a wide variety of local events like festivals, cook-offs, galas, parades, and much more. Bright House Networks invite you to tune to Bakersfield On Demand and see a sampling of Kern County events from the comfort of your own home. Make Bright House Network's Digital Channel 300 your portal to local programming.
Bright House Network's Bakersfield On Demand Digital Channel 300. Your source for exclusive local programming you can't get anywhere else. New programs are added every week, including A Day in the Life, SPCA Adopt a Pet, and new segments like Stretching Your Money and Spanish On Demand. It's all here on your schedule anytime. On Bright House Network's Bakersfield Digital Channel 300. Tune in and see what's next.
Got a job to do? Premier Equipment Rentals is your answer. Residential or industrial, we've got exactly what you need to get the job done. Whether it's a drill, trencher, bobcat, backhoe, or excavator, you can always count on Premier Equipment Rentals. And with our new extended hours, we're available when you need us. Check us out at 3217 Patton Way and 5001 Stein Road, or give us a call to find out more. Don't forget to ask about our weekend specials. Make your next project a breeze with Premier Equipment Rental.
Here's Guy. Victoria in their back. The is centering feed. Back out the center. Kemp, and he dumps. Methodically. 2-1 lead for the Victoria. Pielmeyer.
Interesting to see Don Raymond has dressed. And the last on the blue line.
We'll take this draw. A face-off one. Played right back. Weller trying to put there, and he towards and out. This Victoria team can load if they get. See how many chances. Scoring lanes. Iron chip back down low. Back onto the forehand, and they just couldn't connect. Back the other direction to the near side wall. His wrister is broken. Side wall, and the Victoria zone. Victoria, and Canner goes well off his stick. He gets left to go in a third. 2-1.
As we saw, he is in a little more of a bet. Only 3 goals scored.
Bakersfield. Rimmed around the boards. Get to it. Sending it into the of Gallic. Air off a stick. Off. Got up and out to center. Going to play it in. Zone goal on it. Their best scoring.
Nice play. Ruick, he lost to handle. Continuing his strong play. Goal scoring streak. He pushed the puck away from
Victoria. The board's near side. Sub goal here in this game. Play halfway through the Condors 3 and will continue into and for action 1180. Wraparound chance. It's picked up by Howe. Picked back up by wedging. There, swung out. Bouncing puck with Victoria.
period. 3 opportunity for Baker. Got in by
the and on. Just pushed away by the in side and by 2 Condors. An hour couldn't reach it. Back with it. Now it's up gliding down in. Play to the right wing side. Wrister safe. Mason hour. In the middle of a change. Aaron just. Victoria. Playing it off the wall and out. To go. 2-1. Out of his own zone with it. Condors get it up. Goulet plays it a bit, gets it back. Force himself around the hill, back down there by now and makes third period. Ahead by 2-1.
About Heidi's Brooklyn. Forcing the body exchange. Desserts and more. 6,500.
The cage, Naglin. Possession of Victoria. Field into the zone. And then down to the base. It's loose.
opportunity for the opportunity early. To get that in the game.
Zone, puck to get it out. Wedderburn. The ice. Off the corner board. It's the goal line. Ball entering the zone. It's made. It up though. Played. Have an offside. 2-1 victory.
109. Member of the Superstar. Already. Freeze when I squeeze. Ready to take you around. I am back, yeah, I'm ready. And the don't forget to check them out on the
Field end. Down though. That's Condors in. Bakersfield circle. Nay is all over it. Press plays around Matera. No. Is it?
To dip the Matera against his body. This game.
Indeed. The draw. And off right wing side. An arrow. Going down behind the nets. And the cage for front two. Can't find. Off the end. Arrow Eichenlaub pinch. Cage covered by Shaw.
Offensive zone, but every need to find a way to get a job on the cycle. Get to the outside.
We'll get a line change. Out comes Adam Naglich. He's been bouncing back. Stick tied up. Geyer. In front and just picks it up. by Geyer. And Regan into the zone. A line. Oh, 9:30.
Condors defense lob has to knock it out and kept it deep. And then Regan with I believe it was
Victoria zone. On it. 4 o'clock start. I should say back next week, Wednesday against Idaho, number 1. Roger coming in, cuts the big Ryan Arrow trying to hurry. Is spun off. Smashes his stick.
what a great in the slot area. Ryan Arrow. He's had a number of. He said Friday, and there was, but at least game
9 or so. Lining up a big ledge, can't get the across. Geyer the Regan keeps it direction. Condors have to. They're getting some great ball pushed up the stick of Pielmeyer. Misses it off. Stop it behind his own cage. Played ahead now. An hour by Victoria. Now in a third. Next on your Condors.
third power. Good work by Major Lice. In off 2. Just 2-1.
Play is here for defensively when you need it, and try to control off wing side. Sturb misses one. Side wall. Hey. Here tonight takes the rebound.
Good. Goulet and chop it out.
On the time to waste.
Wide and
Regan plays it. Arrow plays it. Spot. Nice. Broken. zone. Drop. Nice shots. He's trying to put it on.
Hard on that play. Goulet get away from the left. Condors with the
And Manet will take to the point. Block comes back. Off. It down deep. And Manet waiting. Power play. Eichenloff. Again boards. Misses the. Eisenhower can't hold. Pielmeyer trying to get ahead into the Salmon King. You're down by La Tundra. Kings. Guy trying to turn the corner. Regan across. Stop. That's it.
Offlade with a good dash in the net. Have you heard the don't take? Now with third and before this game is over.
Versus 11 and Hamilton wins it. A wrister to fly to the slot. Played down. Geyer King around. Footing. Got it near side. Out through center. But they're off. Latondresk. The Bakersfield end. Fumble it a bit in the corner. We have 5 minutes. Condors. Stofflet being to give it to. And then Goldie keeping. Goulet punt. Weller gets. Goulet has it. Goes up. Ryan Arrow in front. Right point. Topped at by Goulet. 5. Pass. Here's Goulet. Now for Ryan Arrow. Near side is centering feet. Waiting with it. Into the near side. Now for Regan. It up. On his shots. On Victoria.
In that shift. Opportunities from the point. Shot was taken. Condors.
tonight. Support right now here in regular. 3 points. Feet for the out. In their own zone. With it. Wide into the zone. Play. Get a hold of it. It's a rolling puck. With it. A little bit too long. The glove save.
Inside of his own. And he lost. Great crowd.
Here in the third. For the comes from the point. Play the pass across. Sneak it across. Back by Victoria. Side wall. Tied up along the on along with Gallagher. Offlet and Gallagher. Man.
Penalty against. Get a penalty. Make boards with Gallagher. And an 8. Just 2-8. Condors down by in favor of Ionair.
Chances here, especially the team shot. Got 3 as well. I all collectively. Ball bounces up and Connor working along the wall. Goes over. Back across and up the trying to cut it across. Misses. Goes up front. Third high up off. Indeed. Left to go here in this. Carrying over to
Meyer now at the half. Mark Morrison to looks like we are going to invest.
Raymond is drawing up something on the over. Are at home on Wednesday for get in for just a buck. To the box office. One. It's a great deal.
ID.
I think you got a ticket though. Against the Idaho card say give of the 5 to the Saturday. Condors have the wedged off. Goulet. Left for Weller. Jammed out on a doorstep. The Condors can't. Off. And Goldie's. And rings it up.
Credit on that. Once again, or on the empty net. Take advantage.
And Goulet. Condors from the point. Right corner. For Goulet. Pinching is reaching into the left corner. Left to go and Asher is a puck. He Ryan Arrow. Off the near side. Waiting. Gets it. It's pitched up into the right up Weller and with a stick. Connolly.
Along that dash a couple of times. Couldn't get the puck. Wait. Or a hand pass. Glove. And good positioning behind.
Left to go here in Victoria wins the drawing. Blocked by guarding. Center. Condors take wall. Bump. 12 seconds left. Squeezes it around the in the net. Naglage. Entering feed. Woo! In Condor. Ball by 2-1. Salmon King.
Well, I feel kind of guaranteed more goals. Not to be tonight. Kings who back against the end, but they just like they did Saturday. And they have a lot of confidence. Come back from any game. But if you're fall team like the Sam put up a good
entertaining too. Goes to on your network.
He's destroyed every contender came for the biggest threat as he champion Antonio. 10 years of dominance. Arts legend. His glory.
February 20th on
the movie.
Come champ.
Might you recommend
Vince Vaughn.
This is a little creepy. Here.
Couples order Bright House Networks.